Hello, good morning, trade pros. Welcome to the morning market update for Friday, May 18th, 2018. This is George Papsov, Trade Pro Academy. Where are we? What day is it? One of us in the office today dressed up nicely. It's not me. Victorio's t-shirt or a shirt wins a contest. Yeah. I'm not even going to show you. You guys don't want to see Mark. Mark's wearing boxers. Just kidding. Marky looks good too. Yeah, so it's Friday. It's option expiry day. It's going to be volatile. It's going to be fun. And everybody's going to make some returns. JC Penney yesterday got just absolutely clobbered, down 12.4% after lowering its profit outlook. 12% dump for JC Penney, stock symbol JCP. Nordstrom down 7%, Walmart down 1.9%. Not a good look for retail the last few days. Retail stock. So, I mean, XRT is the retail stock ETFs. If you want to take advantage, you get some put plays on XRT. Anytime's a good time to sell the XRT. It's just a very bad, the retail sector just has a bad fundamental prospect and really bearish momentum. All right, in Asia, Japan's up 0.4%. My mic's all the way up here. Why didn't you guys tell me anything? Hong Kong's up 0.3%. China's up 1.2%. India's down 0.9%. All right, so early on in the Asian session, we had some strength. We actually traded that session last night. There were some really good opportunities in the evening with Donald Trump yapping. It created some tradable and exploitable opportunities in the market. In Europe, at midday, London's down 0.1%. Paris is flat. Frankfurt's flat. So European equities more so sitting sideways going into the open. In the United States, Dow Jones was up 0.3%. S&P was up 0.2%. NASDAQ was up 0.3%. But that all changed a couple minutes ago when we just – actually, not a couple minutes ago. When did we dump? There was a pretty big slide in equities here around the top of that move was 26.5 on the S&P 500, around 6:15 in the morning. This thing really dumped. A lot of people ask me, can I trade before work? You absolutely can. There's always opportunities between 6 to 9 a.m. in the morning Eastern time, so you could trade before you get ready for work. But they're not going to be, they're few and far in between. They're not going to be as volatile as what we get exposed to from 9 to 11 a.m. in the European US overlap. All right. Crude oil is up 0.2%, but dropping. We saw it take out the 72 marker and fade. After it crossed 72 northward, that's when I started to see it as a more shorter term bearish fade prospect rather than buying it around these highs. Don't get it mistaken. I still think we got upside, but we're ready to come in for a little bit of a pullback. U.S. dollar today continues to skyrocket higher. This U.S. dollar is unstoppable. All right, and that's based on trade talk news. We'll talk about that in one moment. The Treasury yield is flat at 3.1%. As I said, the last couple of days, you got to keep watching that 10-year Treasury yield. Very important. Fed's Messer speaking at 3 p.m. Fed's Kaplan speaking at 9:15 in 7 minutes. Fed's Reserve Governor Lael Brainerd, she's speaking at 9:15. We got a lot of Fed speakers. Jeez Louise, it's going to be, the squawk wire is going to blow up this morning. 1 p.m. we got Baker Hughes rig count. That's going to be a look at the latest exploration figures for offshore drilling in the United States. So that's a real big driver for oil prices at 1, but 1.5 hours before the pit close. That's going to create volatility into the end of the week. If it wasn't a Friday, I'd be looking to get short oil, but I don't want to get short oil on the swing trading account onto a Friday. It's usually not a good idea because you're getting in with 2 days of risk right off the beginning of your position. So if it swings in the beginning, it could go in your favor, but heck, it could also go against you, and you have no discourse. You can't do anything about it until Sunday at 6 p.m. So I'm going to sort of sit on the sidelines on this one and just watch it and sort of just do the thumb twirl and just wait for it. The Dr. Evil, as you sit there and pray on oil. But I think we have a good opportunity next week. All right, China's foreign ministry shot down reports overnight that they agreed to reduce the U.S. trade deficit by $200 billion. Boeing Airlines last night into late session rallied on this news because it was seen as beneficial for Boeing. If China is going to reduce the deficit by $200 billion, aluminum and steel are probably some of the 2 ways it would start out doing that. All right, but China shot down those reports. Talking about shooting down things, North Korea has suspended talks with the South over the joint military exercises of the U.S. So North Korea, South Korea are not going to talk. North Korea and U.S. are slated to meet on June 12th. but that looks like it won't happen either because, well, it might at this point. But Donald Trump basically said, you have, just when things are going well, Donald Trump says the following. He said, you either get rid of your nuclear weapons or face total decimation. And he said, yeah, yeah, that's, we'll leave that there. Yeah, as literally said. He's like, get rid of your nuclear weapons or face total decimation. He said, kind of like we did in Libya. Except that's not true. They didn't do anything. Anyways. We'll just leave that for later, guys. Let's just move on to the next thing. So whether they do or don't, we don't know if they're going to meet, but we do know that it's going to cause some volatility in the market. Today is options expiry. Let me tell you how to trade options expiry. You don't. I'm just kidding, but not really. So if you're new in trading, options expiry gives you a lot of volatility. So if you are going to stick around and trade options expiry, I'm going to tell you guys something personally. I don't often open up. I'm going to tell you my deepest, darkest secrets that don't do it, that I have hidden in the closet. There's cobwebs in that closet. I don't open it often. One of my worst trading days, my single-handedly biggest drawdown on a day. And I'm not even kidding you. I remember this. After I finished, it was about 11 o'clock, 11:30. I was just laying on my floor in my condo looking up like I wish I could be a bird. Birds can't lose money. It was a bad day. It made me re-question life. Was on an option expiry Friday. So to me, I got that experience to deal with, and I deal with it fine. It's okay. I've worked my way through it, but there's a reason for it. It gets volatile and choppy. Some people live for options expiry. All right. Others detest it. And there's some people that are in between. And the only people that are in between are the ones that haven't traded enough options expires to figure out which one they are. Just two real different camps. There's going to be volatility today, so I'll tell you how you guys trade it. Option expiries tend to be skewed bullish, slightly to the bullish side. So more returns are dispersed on the bullish side of the returns. All right, they're more positive. However, there's more volatility as well. So whenever you see resistance and support levels, they may or may not hold. They might break for a couple points and then wash out right back down to where we started. All right, so watch these levels to wash out and not really cause a lot of movement. There's going to be volatility. There's going to be chop. Some of it won't make sense. The closer you get to 4 p.m., the less technical analysis works. And it's all about these big, massive institutional players just rebalancing their book. All right. I got some call options that are expiring, so I could either buy them back. All right. Or what could you do? You just go and buy the stock, buy the future, short the futures. Everybody's doing different stuff with their own strategy, not really in relation to your resistance level that you've got drawn. All right. You got an institutional fund looking to dump $100 million. No disrespect, but your support level doesn't mean anything to them. All right. So what I'm saying is the closer you get to the closing bell, the more volatility. Early on, it's okay. It's actually good volatility. It's measurable. You could use it as analysis. Here's my advice to you. If you're new or haven't traded one of these option expiries, trade it, have fun, but be done by 11 a.m. and move on, because the afternoon, it really is a wild, wild west. The worst option expiry is the one that happened to me was on a quad witch. All right. I got quad witched. I walk around Halloween and I see 12-year-old kids dressed as witches. I'm like, you don't even know what that means. But the quad witch is when the 4 things expire at the same time. It happens quarterly on the 3rd Friday, and that's the one where I got myself in a little bit of trouble. All right, that's all I got for you guys today. Oh, one more thing. NAFTA countries are nowhere close to a deal, said the U.S. Trade Representative Robert Lighthizer. That's what he declared. All right. He said he's pointing to gaping differences on issues like intellectual property, agricultural assets, labor, and energy. Yeah. So House Speaker Paul Ryan set the deadline for end of this week for something to come through, some kind of legislation, so they can push it through and have time to write it before the midterm elections. But it doesn't look like it's going to happen. All right. So you guys have yourselves a great day. Trade careful. 3 tips I got for you is trade less, so less frequency, trade smaller size today, and take quicker profits or losses. All right, be in, be out. Have like a little switch, just flick it quickly. Don't hesitate. Guys, take care. Manage your risk trade like a trade pro. Got to turn around, draw some levels. I'm also going to open up my options platform and show you where a lot of open interest contracts are, so you can use that as some support and resistances. Okay, so let me just turn around. You guys take care. Have yourselves a great weekend. All the best to you and your families. We're getting some good weather here in our country and city. I hope the same is true for you. Take care, guys. Goodbye. Have an awesome weekend. Patented chair spin. It's getting harder and harder to spin with all these wires. It's 2018. There should be some kind of wireless solution. Okay, there is. And Victorio says there is, so there's got to be. Trade Pros, how you guys doing on a Friday?